Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who wrote the famous book Meditations, died almost 2,000 years ago. Yet his words are more relevant today than ever before. In this series, we will be reading and discussing every single entry from Meditations, one entry per day for 120 days, starting from October. This is more of a personal project to inspire myself to become better, but it's also open for you to join me. You can read along with the translation by Robin Lane Fox, which you can find online or in most major libraries. So join me in this exciting journey through Stoic philosophy, and let us begin. Meditations, Book 1. There are two ways to choose, either to experience what is happening as indifferent, that is not important, or to experience it as coming from Zeus, that is important. And this is why some things are in our control, and others not in our control. Things that depend on the will of another person are not in our control. Things that depend on ourselves are in our control. Therefore, the first thing to ask whenever something happens is, does this depend on my will? If not, then it is not my business. I don't have to worry about it. It's up to God or fate or nature or fortune, whatever you want to call this higher power. It's up to them. My job is to do the right thing. But when it comes to the results, well, those are not in my hands. That's their job. And so the next time you face adversity, ask yourself, does this depend on my will? If not, then it's not your problem. Let it go. Trust in a higher power. As far as everything else is concerned, there are two possibilities. Either you have the ability to act rightly, or you don't. If you have the ability, then you must act rightly because that is your nature. If you don't have the ability, then you must acquire it. Do I have the ability to walk this path? Yes. Then I must walk that path. Can I walk this path? No. Then I must get the ability to walk that path. So there are only two options. If you can do it, do it. If you can't, then learn how to do it. Don't just sit around and complain about the state of affairs. Do something about it. The only thing worse than being unable to do something is wanting to be unable to do it. We can always do something. And if we don't do anything, well, then we are truly worse than useless, because at least a useless thing can be useful. But someone who doesn't even try, well, they are beyond all hope. Everything changes and nothing stays the same forever. Not the earth, not the heavens, not the people around us, not even our own bodies. Everything is constantly changing. And death is the ultimate change. Even the memory of things changes over time. What was once vivid and clear becomes dim and forgotten. That's why we have to pay attention to what is happening right now, here and now, in this particular moment, because it will never come again. It will be gone forever. If we miss this moment, we will never be able to relive it. That's why we should pay attention to the present moment and savor it, enjoy it, appreciate it, because it is the only moment that we have. And that's why the dead are no longer worried about anything. Why? Because they are not here. They are gone. They don't exist anymore. They don't care about the past or the future because they are not part of it. They are part of the present, and the present is all that matters. That's why when someone dies, we say they lived a good life or they wasted their life. Not a good death or a bad death, but a good life or a bad life. Because when someone dies, they stop living. Their story is over. Their life is over. There is no more life after death. Death is the end of life. That's why we should live every moment of our life to the fullest, no matter what happens. Live it up. Make the most out of it. When we are young, we think we are invincible. We feel like we are going to live forever. But as we get older, we realize that we are not invincible. We feel like we are going to die soon. But in reality, we are not going to live forever. But we are not going to die soon either. We are going to live for a long time. We have plenty of time ahead of us. So don't waste your time worrying about the future. Instead, enjoy the present moment because it is the only moment that we have. The universe is vast and mysterious. We don't know how big it is or how small we are in comparison. We don't know what's out there or what's inside us. We don't know what's going to happen or what's going to be revealed. So instead of worrying about the future, enjoy the present moment because it is the only moment that we have. The reason why we fear the future is that we have created a false image of it in our minds. We have imagined that it will be full of difficulties and dangers and sorrows and losses. But what if our imagination is wrong? What if the future is not as bad as we think it is? What if the future is full of opportunities and blessings and joys and gains? Of course, there will be both good and bad things in the future, just as there are both good and bad things in the present. But it is up to us to decide which things we will focus on. Will we focus on the good things, or will we focus on the bad things? It is up to us. So don't worry about the future. Focus on the present moment, because it is the only moment that we have. You have to accept whatever comes, said the philosopher Epictetus, because you have the strength to handle it. Whatever comes will not be worse than what you can bear, and so it is with pain, too. Whatever pain you encounter will not be worse than what you can endure. What's difficult at the very first moment is never difficult at the last moment. And so it is with time, too. The difficulty of the whole of life is in each moment of life. In each moment, everything is easy. All you need to do is do what is in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. Then you will never have any problems. And so it is with the whole of life, too. If you do what is in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, then you will never have any problems. Don't be arrogant and self-important. Be humble and modest. Think that you are nobody and that everyone else is better than you. Because if you think that you are better than everyone else, then you will never learn anything from anyone. So don't think that you are better than everyone else. Think that you are worse than everyone else. Because if you think that you are worse than everyone else, then you will be open to learning from everyone. Be a sponge, not a mirror. Reflect on the actions of other people and try to understand why they are doing them. What is their motivation? What is their intention? What is their goal? And then ask yourself, can I do something similar? Can I use this action to achieve my own goals? Because most of the actions of other people are not random or meaningless. They have a purpose. They have a reason. They have a value. So don't be arrogant and self-important. Be humble and modest. Think that you are nobody and that everyone else is better than you. That is all for today. Thank you for watching. And please remember to share this video with your friends and family. Until next time.